Welcome, magnetic being. This is a safe space where a gentle shift begins tonight. Here, between one breath and the next, permission is given for new paths to open and for quiet forces to rearrange what has felt stuck. You do not need to explain. You do not need to perform. The only request is that you allow. Tonight, you will be guided through a sequence of phrases and moments, a slow tide of words that will meet the part of you that learns in sleep and in stillness. These words are not demands. They are invitations to identity, repeated with kind rhythm so your nervous system recognizes them as true. You will hear cycles of affirmations intended to magnetize your presence, to clear small blockages, to tune you to a frequency of ease. Listen fully when you can. If sleep comes, allow the words to work beneath waking thought. This space is built to hold your secret wishes and your tender doubts. It is safe here. Feel the room as a quiet shell that protects whatever rises inside you. Close your eyes when you are ready. Breathe in once, filling the ribs, and soften everything you can soften. Think of the jaw unhooking, the shoulders lowering, the hands uncurling. Let the breath be slow and generous, like a tide that knows its own edges. Imagine your presence widening, as if a lake had no fixed banks, as if water simply touched new stones and found more depth. Hold this anchor phrase now, short and steady. I am magnetic and ready to receive. You do not have to try. You only have to receive. Now allow the breath to anchor you deeper. With each inhalation, feel the air enter the chest as warm light that fills the lungs and moves down into the belly. Notice the small click of air at the nostrils. With each exhale, imagine a soft curtain drawing closed on tension. Sense the contact of the body with the surface beneath you, the weight of hips, the cradle of shoulders, the quiet pressure of the soles of your feet, or the texture of your sheet if you rest. Hear any distant sound as part of a background orchestra that keeps you company. Smell the faint residue of the evening, a scent of tea, skin, and home. Taste the cool air at the back of the throat. Notice the inner map of temperature, the subtle coolness at the top of the head, and the warm repository of your chest. Proprioception anchors you. Feel the subtle line of your spine and the gentle grounding of your pelvis. Let muscular maps loosen, one area at a time. Soften the face, then the neck, then the shoulders. Soften the hands, the forearms, the legs. Each exhale invites a closer arrival to stillness. Let the pattern of breathing become a quiet metronome. Inhale lengthens, exhale lengthens. Inhale presence, exhale release. You are being welcomed inward. You are being invited to an inner council where desire and calm sit together. Imagine now a scene of expansion that holds you. Picture a dawn-touched river widening into a calm lake. The edges become smooth and porous. As the water meets shore, it hums, not with strain, but with acceptance. Visualize the color of the water as the color of your own attention, clear and soft, reflecting an open sky. Hear the small lapping of the surface like whispered yeses. Smell the mineral bright air as if the world had just been washed clean. Taste the faint sweetness of morning light. Feel the temperature shift, cooler at the skin, warmer toward the heart. Sense the subtle buoyancy of your chest as if a small lift comes from within. Allow the boundary between inside and outside to soften until you can feel the world gently supporting you and you support it in return. In this space, doubts are allowed to appear and be seen without judgment. Let the edges of worry dissolve into the wider body of your presence. Repeat in your mind the anchor phrase, I am magnetic and ready to receive. Let it rest at the center of the chest. Picture it as a small pulse, regular and luminous. Permit this pulse to slow and deepen your rhythm. Before we begin the long cycle of affirmations, here is a brief backstory of the part of you that came to this evening. There is a quieter you who has carried certain ache and a careful hope. As a child, you learned to tuck your desire in your pocket so it would not bruise, and later you learned to whisper wants in a voice that was patient and small. You have experienced seasons of giving more than you got, and nights of asking where alignment would find you. You are not broken. You are a seeker who has tried many doors and found some closed or ajar in ways that felt confusing. You have met mentors who offered frameworks, friends who offered reflection, and times when the world asked you to prove your worth. Tonight, that ledger can rest. This quieter you is ready to allow new patterns to be written, not by force, but by repeated benign input. You came here because part of you remembers being full of possibility. You came because there is a flicker that still trusts in arrival. Keep that flicker as witness. Names that have touched your path gather like constellations. Maya, who taught you persistence, Elias, who held a different mirror, Sophia, who modeled softness, Jonah, who insisted on curiosity, Miriam, who taught ceremony, and mentor Rowan, who offered steady structure. These figures, real or archetypal, are threads in your history that help explain why change matters to you. Tonight, their presence is honored and held, but the living change belongs to you now. Now a brief conversation rises between the inner skeptic and your softer core. Let this play out as a dialogue, where both are heard. Guide voice. Are you sure it will matter? The repetition will reframe small pathways. I have been disappointed before. Disappointment is a teacher, not a sentence. What if I wake unchanged? Even subtle shifts alter the future. I want proof. Proof arrives as gentle evidence, not as fireworks. I am afraid of being needy. Need is human, and it deserves kindness. I am tired of pretending I am enough. You are enough, and becoming clearer about that is part of the work. How do I trust the process? Trust grows from small, consistent acts, like listening. Will I be alone in this? You are not alone. Then I will try. You already are trying by being here. This exchange has warmth, small doubts, and steady replies. Each line softens the edge of resistance and creates room for the affirmations to land. Notice the micro-emotions that flicker across the inner scene: hesitation, a faint relief, a tiny curious spark, the weight of a long sigh. Hear the cadence of compassion in the replies. Let the dialogue itself be a ritual of permission. We will now begin the main cycle of affirmations. These phrases are structured to repeat in gentle waves. Listen to a phrase, allow it to sink into the body, breathe quietly, and then receive the next. If your mind drifts, use the breath to come back. If your body moves towards sleep, let it. The cycle contains identity anchors, permission to receive, release of old stories, and steady reminders of worth. The pattern will be a slow repetition with brief pauses for breath and internal echo. Begin with the anchor and then expand. I am magnetic and ready to receive. I am magnetic and ready to receive. I am magnetic and ready to receive. I am open at the heart and firm at the edges. I am open at the heart and firm at the edges. I deserve kindness and abundance. I deserve kindness and abundance. I deserve kindness and abundance. My presence calls what I need with grace. My presence calls what I need with grace. My presence calls what I need with grace. Each phrase you hear becomes a small planting, a seed placed in soil softened by breath. Continue to let each line rest in the chest like a pebble dropping into still water, creating rings that expand outward. You are not only repeating words, you are teaching the body a new rhythm. Feel the sensation in the throat as the phrase lives there, even unspoken. Feel the chest open, small muscles soften, the slight decrease in sympathetic tightness. Savor the auditory texture of the words, like tuning a string progressively to a pure pitch. Notice vision. Observe. Smell as an impression of clarity, like linens after rain. Taste the faint calm of a tea swallowed in slow sips. Sense touch as warmth in the hands and a coolness behind the eyes. The proprioceptive map shifts too, a standing ease in the spine, a drop in clenched jaw, and evenness in the feet. Repeat, I am magnetic and ready to receive. I am magnetic and ready to receive. I am magnetic and ready to receive. Now deepen the content and allow variety in the affirmations. Hear each cluster 3 times and then move to the next cluster. I am worthy of what I desire. I am worthy of what I desire. I am worthy of what I desire. My frequency aligns with opportunity. My frequency aligns with opportunity. My frequency aligns with opportunity. I open to receive love, clarity, and prosperity. I open to receive love, clarity, and prosperity. I open to receive love, clarity, and prosperity. I release scarcity stories into the night. I release scarcity stories into the night. I release scarcity stories into the night. I accept support that feels gentle and true. I accept support that feels gentle and true. I accept support that feels gentle and true. Let each cluster fall like rain over a garden. If resistance rises, notice without force. Place a hand on the heart, feel the pulse, and let the simple fact of your pulse be evidence that the body knows how to receive. Repeat, I am magnetic and ready to receive. I am magnetic and ready to receive. Here is a moment to invite small internal responses, a subtle dialogue of assent. Whisper in the mind, yes, I receive. Whisper back, I was waiting. Whisper in, I am willing. Whisper back, we will rest. Whisper in, I deserve. Whisper back, we are learning. Continue with the phrases. Opportunities find me with ease. Opportunities find me with ease. Opportunities find me with ease. My boundaries are clear and loving. My boundaries are clear and loving. My boundaries are clear and loving. I trust the timing of this work. I trust the timing of this work. I trust the timing of this work. Money, time, and affection flow to me in ways that serve my highest alignment. Money, time, and affection flow to me in ways that serve my highest alignment. Keep the rhythm slow and soft. If a particular phrase wakes discomfort, allow the discomfort to breathe and watch it ease as the words continue. At this point, when you have settled into the flow, you may notice a small tightening of doubt. That is a natural surface reaction to new language. We will honor it in 3 short mini-scenes of tension and resolution. Tension Scene 1. A memory rises of being turned down. The chest tightens and the mind says, not now. Your breath acknowledges that hurt. You answer with a soft phrase, even this pain is safe to feel. Breathe into the ribs. Let the chest hold the memory like a photograph that no longer commands the whole album. A slow release follows as you say aloud or within, I am safe to receive. The tightness softens. Tension Scene 2. Fear of undeservedness appears as a small voice. Who am I to ask for this? Your reply is patient. You are a human who has earned rest. Feel that reply sink into the solar plexus as warm acceptance. The fear unthreads into curiosity. Tension Scene 3. Anxiety about change is palpable, like standing before a door with a new lock. The body tightens. You breathe deliberately 3 times and whisper, change is allowed. Each exhale loosens the shoulders and a small steadiness returns. Each moment of tension is about 500 to 600 characters in length and resolves by inviting the body to participate with breath, touch, and a gentle self-affirmation. We continue now with deeper declarations that address identity, boundary, and receiving as a way of life. I am naturally magnetic. I attract kind and aligned people. I attract kind and aligned people. I attract kind and aligned people. I am worthy of abundance without apology. I am worthy of abundance without apology. I am worthy of abundance without apology. My intuition guides me to what will nourish me. My intuition guides me to what will nourish me. My intuition guides me to what will nourish me. I allow help to arrive without shame. I allow help to arrive without shame. I allow help to arrive without shame. With each phrase, feel the chest soften and the shoulders sink a little more. The auditory repetition is a gentle instrument tuning deeper neural pathways, a soft practice of neuroplasticity that does not demand a scientific understanding but offers credible process. The method is simple: regular exposure, restful receptivity, and repetition. Practice these affirmations nightly and notice choices aligning differently. The process described here is a routine of gentle input over time that reshapes habitual response patterns by consistent, low-effort repetition. At roughly 1/3 into this sequence, pause for a moment and reflect if anything shifted. If it did, even by a fraction, you are on the right path. If something stirred, consider sharing one word in the comments below that resonated with you. Choose a single word, like worthy, receive, calm, or abundance. When you write that one word, it helps others know they are not alone and encourages the gentle collective field of people choosing to receive. Your single word is an offering to the community and a small ritual of witness. After you post your word, return to the breath and prepare for the next extended wave of affirmations. Now inhale slowly and exhale. We now enter a long central cycle. The tone here is steady and repetitive, with clusters that build identity, permission, prosperity, love, presence, and trust. Each cluster repeats the main phrase 3 times, followed by a short pause and a slow breath. Begin. I am magnetic. I am magnetic. I am magnetic. I am open to receive miracles in small forms. I am open to receive miracles in small forms. I am open to receive miracles in small forms. My life aligns with my deepest intentions. My life aligns with my deepest intentions. My life aligns with my deepest intentions. The world reflects back abundance when I am clear. The world reflects back abundance when I am clear. The world reflects back abundance when I am clear. My heart is a beacon, not a container of lack. My heart is a beacon, not a container of lack. My heart is a beacon, not a container of lack. Repeat. I am magnetic and ready to receive. I am magnetic and ready to receive. I am magnetic and ready to receive. Allow sensory detail to accompany each phrase. See color deepen around objects that feel supportive, like a warm lamp or a favorite sweater. Hear the subtle clarity in birdsong or the hum of a refrigerator reframed as a kind companion. Smell the comfort of baked bread or the faint citrus of a cleaner that makes a room feel new. Taste the metallic hint of your own saliva as a reminder of bodily presence. Feel the coolness of your fingertips, the evenness in your jaw, the soft weighting of your limbs. Sense the temperature of a memory, turning from hot anxiety to tempered warmth. Feel the rhythm of your heart as a steady drum, aligning with the cadence of words. Experience proprioception as a silent map of home. Repeat. I am magnetic and ready to receive. Occasionally, the mind will catalog past events and offer lists of reasons to withhold. When that occurs, gently say, "Thank you, not now." Return to the breath. If images of past failure come, reframe them as information, not as identity. Allow the phrase, "My past is data, my present is power." My past is data, my present is power. My past is data, my present is power. Each repetition rewires habitual responses to evidence and increases the ability to accept good things. Continue with the next cluster. I deserve attention that respects me. I deserve attention that respects me. I deserve attention that respects me. I receive opportunities that fit my life. I receive opportunities that fit my life. I receive opportunities that fit my life. My frequency attracts supportive people and aligned work. My frequency attracts supportive people and aligned work. My frequency attracts supportive people and aligned work. Keep the rhythm unhurried, like a slow tide moving in. Now imagine a small servant of compassion walking through your inner house, opening curtains and changing light bulbs. This figure could be named any helpful archetype for you. Mine comes as an ally called Rowan, steady, practical, with soft hands that know how to mend things. Another tends as Maya, who brings creative remedies, Elias, who reminds you to say no when needed, Sophia, who teaches softness, Jonah, who suggests curiosity, and Miriam, who guides ceremony and small rituals. These names ground the inner support network. Hear them offer concise encouragement. Rowan says, "You are safer than you think." Maya says, "Your creativity is a language of arrival." Elias says, "Set a boundary when you need rest." Sophia says, "Tenderness is a form of strength." Jonah says, "Ask a question before you answer." Miriam says, "A small ritual can root a giant change." Each voice contributes a different texture to the field around you, and you may call on any of them in the small hours. Continue with more affirmations. I accept wealth in forms that honor me. I accept wealth in forms that honor me. I accept wealth in forms that honor me. I radiate clarity and opportunities respond. I radiate clarity and opportunities respond. I radiate clarity and opportunities respond. I am anchored and joyful in receiving. I am anchored and joyful in receiving. I am anchored and joyful in receiving. Let the threefold repetition be a drumbeat of reassurance. If sleep comes, let it. If you remain awake, continue to listen with soft attention. The cadence is the work, not the volume. Repeat silently if that feels better. I am magnetic and ready to receive. I am magnetic and ready to receive. We will now move through a sequence that includes short guided microbreaths between clusters. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Repeat this pattern 3 times before the next cluster. Feel it like a small ritual that anchors the neurochemical shift toward calm. After those breaths, allow the words, I am open to receive kindness without exchange. I am open to receive kindness without exchange. I am open to receive kindness without exchange. I allow abundance to enter through grace and ease. I allow abundance to enter through grace and ease. I allow abundance to enter through grace and ease. My life is a magnet for good timing and gentle people. My life is a magnet for good timing and gentle people. My life is a magnet for good timing and gentle people. Another brief internal dialogue emerges in the center of the cycle, with 12 exchanges that sound like 2 parts negotiating kindly. Inner doubter. What if it is too good to be true? Inner witness. Then it will reveal itself as true in small ways. Inner doubter. I have trouble accepting praise. Inner witness. Praise can be an offering. Accept what helps. Inner doubter. I am afraid to ask. Inner witness. Asking is a bridge, not a demand. Inner doubter. I do not know how to say no. Inner witness. No can be said softly and firmly. Inner doubter. I am restless at night. Inner witness. Rest will come when you teach sleep new language. Inner doubter. I do not want to disappoint. Inner witness. You can disappoint without losing yourself. Inner doubter. What if I change and lose people? Inner witness. True people will arrive who match the new you. Inner doubter. I need proof. Inner witness. Proof is small evidence. Collect it gently. Inner doubter. I feel ready sometimes and not ready other times. Readiness is a rhythm, not a switch. These exchanges are small and hold micro emotions of fear and encouragement. Let them land and then return to the steady voice of affirmation. Continue now with longer clusters that emphasize receiving materially and emotionally. I accept financial ease as a natural expression of my work and worth. I accept financial ease as a natural expression of my work and worth. I accept financial ease as a natural expression of my work and worth. I welcome partnerships that honor my boundaries. I welcome partnerships that honor my boundaries. I welcome partnerships that honor my boundaries. I celebrate the small arrivals as proof of momentum. I celebrate the small arrivals as proof of momentum. I celebrate the small arrivals as proof of momentum. Keep the breath long, the chin soft, the inner eye gentle. Hear the anchor phrase threaded through. I am magnetic and ready to receive. As we move through the later part of the cycle, notice the body storing new impressions as a subtle warmth behind the sternum, a lightness along the collarbones, and a settling into the belly that feels like a chair being offered and then accepted. Repeat, I am magnetic and ready to receive. I am magnetic and ready to receive. I am magnetic and ready to receive. My life is unfolding in alignment with my intention. My life is unfolding in alignment with my intention. My life is unfolding in alignment with my intention. I choose rest as strategy and not as escape. I choose rest as strategy and not as escape. I choose rest as strategy and not as escape. Pause and use a sensory check. See the room in a different tone. Hear the respiration as the main instrument. Smell the faint night air. Taste a calmness that is unfamiliar and welcome. Touch the surface under you and feel the steadiness it provides. Feel the slight coolness at the back of the neck. Acknowledge these small constants as evidence that your nervous system is shifting. Keep repeating after me in a soft rhythm. I am magnetic. I am worthy. I receive with grace. Now, another tension scene appears and resolves in about 500 to 600 characters. It looks like this. A sudden memory of a closed door flares up in the chest. The thought says, you were not chosen. The body tightens and the breath shortens. You place a hand to the sternum and whisper, I am chosen by my own heart. Breathe long and imagine the sternum expanding slowly like a slow blossom. Release the tightness. The chest becomes a field where new doors can open because previous closures are simply information. This pause is brief and tender, and you move back into the river of words. We are nearing the end of the central cycle. The phrases will now shift toward anchoring and practical invitations. I will now speak a sequence that you can carry into the night and repeat with small intention at bedtime. I rest knowing doors will open. I rest knowing doors will open. I rest knowing doors will open. I accept help and say thank you. I accept help and say thank you. I accept help and say thank you. I set boundaries and attract kindness. I set boundaries and attract kindness. I set boundaries and attract kindness. I keep my frequency high by choosing rest, creativity, and clarity. I keep my frequency high by choosing rest, creativity, and clarity. I keep my frequency high by choosing rest, creativity, and clarity. Now breathe 3 times, long and grounding. Each breath seals a layer of new habit. Exhale and allow final gentle affirmations to sink. I am magnetic and ready to receive. I am magnetic and ready to receive. I am magnetic and ready to receive. I deserve beautiful things. I deserve beautiful things. I deserve beautiful things. The world is aligning to support me. The world is aligning to support me. The world is aligning to support me. Feel these as soft weights placed on a shelf that once felt empty and is now being filled but not overflowing. Begin to return now to the present body. Notice the small movements of fingers and toes. Wiggle them gently and feel the texture of the surface again. Hear any external sounds as distant companions. Take 3 more long breaths, each one simplifying tension a little more. Whisper the anchor phrase one last time. I am magnetic and ready to receive. Let the words rest in the belly and the back of the throat. If you intend to sleep, allow the body to drift. If you intend to remain awake, keep a soft attention and carry the warmth with you. Before we close, a brief technical note on practice and routine. The recommended night ritual is simple. Listen nightly for at least 7 consecutive nights, ideally lying down in a quiet space. Use slow, deep breathing cycles of 4 in, 2 hold, 6 out between clusters. Repeat this routine consistently to encourage neural pathways to form through repeated restful exposure. This process relies on consistent repetition and restful receptivity rather than force. Now the epilogue with a gentle timeline. At 1 month from now, you may notice small confirmations. A friend calls with an unexpected invitation, or a new idea arrives that feels aligned. You will begin to feel choices settle more quickly, and your appetite for rest will be less guilty. Your sleep may deepen in small increments, and you will catch yourself believing a possibility you once dismissed. This is the early evidence that the inner rhythm is responding. At 3 months, you may notice a clearer pattern of open doors. Work opportunities may appear that match your values. Financial increments arrive that ease pressure, and relationships adopt a kinder cadence. You will carry less redo of old stories and more curiosity about new options. Others will reflect back a steadiness you had only just imagined. At 6 months, the accumulation of nightly listening and small acts of rest will show as measurable shift. Your schedule may rearrange to include more aligned tasks. Your relationships may feel more reciprocal. You will look back and see how the subtle seeds you planted have produced a landscape with more doors and more light. These months are not promises, but reasonable patterns based on the practice of consistent, low-effort repetition and willingness to receive. As we close, hold this final phrase as a companion. What I desire is seeking me. What I desire is seeking me. What I desire is seeking me. Carry this into your pillow tonight as a gentle instruction to the parts of you that do the deep work during sleep. If you can, return to this practice nightly and mark small wins. If this touched you, consider sharing 1 word in the comments that landed for you. If you would like more practices like this, subscribe to the channel to receive more gentle routines designed to help you rest into change. Know that the space you created tonight is real and that your small acts of listening are cumulative. Go to sleep with the sense that the world is not closed to you, but is quietly arranging itself for your arrival. Sleep with the comfort that you are magnetic, you are worthy, and you are ready to receive. Good night.